Hi everyone, so in this tutorial we're going to learn how to use our Google spreadsheet to update our stock quantity on OneCart, which will then update everything for us on Shopee, Lazada, TikTok Shop, Shopify, and every other sales channel that we have. So let's get started. So in OneCart, I have my inventory set up for this particular item. This is a shampoo conditioner item, and I'm selling it on 3 different channels. So I'm selling on Lazada, Shopee, and TikTok. So what I'd like to do is be able to update my Google spreadsheet with the item SKU and the new quantity, and I'd like it to quickly just update OneCart for me, which will then update all these 3 channels at one go. So how do I get that set up? So I'm starting in a blank Google spreadsheet, and what we're going to do today is we're going to set up something called an apps script. So this is not complicated at all. It's pretty simple. We'll give you the code after this. There'll be a link in the description, but just follow through the steps of how to get everything set up. So the first thing you need to do in your OneCart account is scroll all the way to the left and go down to My Account and look for the section which says API keys. So get into that, and I've got a few set up here, but what you can do is if yours is blank, you can create a new one. And when you create one, it'll ask you to just name it for yourself. So this is your own reference, right? In my case, you can see that I've got one for Google Sheets demo, I've got one for Xero, I've got one for Zapier. So you can have quite a lot of different API keys doing different things. This in general is a good practice. If you are creating API keys, it's good to have unique API keys for specific use cases, because then if that specific use case is no longer needed, you can always delete that API key, which then prevents that no longer use case scenario from accessing your account. So in my case, I've already created one for Google Sheets, but you go ahead and create one and you can name it whatever you want. Once you get it, by default it's hidden, but just click this icon and then you'll be able to get it. But you won't need it for now. Let's just create it and then I'll show you what to do next. So once you have the API key generated, in your Google spreadsheet, go to Extensions and click Apps Script. So what this will do is it will open up a new tab, and Google actually is a bit slow, so just be patient with it. And so when you get in here, there's a couple of things happening. The default is you're going to be inside the editor for code.gs, and gs is Google script. So you can just rename it to something. Let's call this OneCart quantity update, right? Whatever you want. And then use the code that will be in the description below, the link to the code. And I'm just going to replace everything here, right? So don't worry about the specific code. The only thing you need to care about is there's something here called OneCart auth token, and there's some default data in here. So what you just need to do is replace this with your API key, right? So put that in there, and it says unsave changes, so then Control S or Command S if you're on a Mac, and that'll save, so just make sure that's working. Then come into Settings, and here it'll say Show App Scripts .json in editor. So just click that on, and then go back to your editor, okay? So now you'll see there's a new thing up here called appscripts.json. And again, we just need to update this with the code which is in the description below. So this is my app script now, and again, I have Control S or Command S to save it. So this basically is it, right? So again, make sure your API key is in and make sure that's there. So now once you've done the code, the next thing you need to do is set up something called a trigger. Right, so if you come in here to triggers, again, this is on your left, and like I said, Google can be a bit slow, so just be patient. So under triggers, you won't have anything here by default. Go to the bottom right, and where it says add trigger, what you're going to do is select what was just written. So that's just a method name called onEditQuantity. Deployment, leave it at head. Event sources from spreadsheet, again, don't change anything. But under event type, scroll down and go to on change. Okay, and that's the only thing you need to change in here. If you're using our code exactly copy pasted, that's the only thing you need to change. Then click save. Now when you click save, you're going to get a pop-up, and with the pop-up it's going to ask you to authorize some permissions. So in this case, it's just for your own use case, so it's okay to give it permission. So just click OK and allow. And once you do that, this will be saved, right? So that's basically it. Now, if you'd like to go into executions, and then from here you can watch your results. So let's go back into our spreadsheet, and let's actually take the SKU from earlier, right? So let's copy this in, and I'm just going to do it very simply. In column A, I'm going to put my quantity, and in column B, I'm going to do 999. And what you'll see happen is immediately what will happen is this will start to update, and I've got an error message here which says authentication failed. Please check your API token. So that's because I hadn't filled in my API token with the real one compared to the placeholder. So let me go do that now. All right, so I've updated the API token with my official one. So now let's just change this to quantity of, let's just do 55 and press enter. So you'll see a couple of things start to happen, where it starts to process, and boom, success. So you see how quick it goes and how quickly it happens. And if you look in the execution logs, you'll be able to see that there is some messages. You don't have to monitor this, but if you are interested, we do give some information here of what it is and what it does. For your reference, obviously you'll see that the status column, the third column here, will change in terms of what happened. So you saw that there was an error because the API key was not there, and therefore I couldn't go through. So I fixed that error by just adding in my real API key, and now it's gone through successfully. And then if I come in now to my actual backend for OneCart, and I look at my tracking history, you'll see immediately that the API sheet has come through, and it's updated. Google Sheets demo has changed the quantity to 55, exactly as when I've done it, right? So that's pretty good and pretty quick, and that's really how you can take advantage of updating stock quantity from Google Sheets. Once it's updated in OneCart, it will push out to all the other platforms as well. So that's something which is automated. So you don't need to then update TikTok or Lazada or wherever else you're selling these items on. So it's pretty good and pretty quick. I encourage you to try it out. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to your account manager or our help desk. The links are in the description below. And thanks for using OneCart.
Ready to take your e-commerce business to the next level? With OneCart, you get effortless inventory syncing, streamlined listing management, and seamless multi-platform integration. Don't just take our word for it. Hear from our happy customers. Experience the OneCart difference and start your free trial today. Simplify your workflow, grow your business. OneCart, your all-in-one e-commerce solution.